look at this. I might keep an eye on it, see what happens with the pipeline, but I narrowly avoided breaking master again. But I am fully blaming it on ESLint. Essentially, I pushed a change to the backend to GraphQL. I added a few fields to a type. And that was the extent of it, along with the spec. I pushed that, and the linter told me that I needed to add these ID fields to the front end. That if there is an idea field available, then it must be consumed. So stupidly, I listened to the linter and I added the ID field to these 4 locations. All went in, happy days, got merged, hit canary, and all of a sudden pages stopped working because the ID field was not in the back end yet. Fortunately, that's the whole point of canary. So we just blocked deployments to production, reverted the MR, and then I've just been kind of bashing to see how I can implement this back end change without being forced to make the front end change.
And you can't make the front end change because of the way the rollout happens with front end and back end.
Yeah. So everyone that's not familiar, exactly, that it's absolutely possible for multi-node deployments to have some nodes in one state and some nodes in another state, or front end and back end basically be out of sync. So we have to deploy the back end change, wait until the next release, and then we can deploy the front end change.
And next release is the next .1
minor,
the minor
sometimes there might be some what would I call it, discretion available there. In for gitlab.com, we kind of know, I guess, that between just deployments full stop, so the teeny tiny deployments which happen maybe every 4 hours or 8 hours or however regularly it is, would probably suffice, but at risk of breaking a customer's deployment implementation,
self-hosted,
exactly, I think we'll probably err on the side of caution for this one. But I'm just going to see how close it's got to running the ESLint, because I've tried a few combinations and we don't really have much history in the way of disabling ESLint GraphQL rules, so I don't know if this is going to succeed. Anyway, leaving that behind for a minute.
Quick question then, sorry. Potentially a follow-up merge request after this. Does ESLint not run as part of left hook, as a pre-commit hook?
I think some of it does, some of it doesn't. Let me just see if I can Markdown Lint. ESLint isn't shown on here, but is that because... Right, so it's skipping because there's no files for inspection.
So it only runs ESLint if you've touched like a JavaScript or GraphQL file.
Well, technically I have touched GraphQL files because I've added this rule. So, I'm not entirely sure, who and what and where. But what I do know is I tried to be in, I don't know if intelligent is the right word. When I pushed this merge request up, I tried to run this locally and it complained, and I think it's because it relies on artifacts from a previous job, because it needs, I think they're called fixtures, if that's the right term, because in order for it to know that the GraphQL types have the ID property, it needs to know certain information about the GraphQL type.
So, there's a GraphQL schema that gets built, I think.
It
probably has to
I
that.
thought I'll try this. If that doesn't work, I think I'll just push it and see how the pipeline goes. That's what I'm currently waiting to see if that explodes. So meanwhile, possible things for today's agenda. One I think we can write off, but I'll mention it anyway, would have been me and Marco started working on a sort of up-to-the-minute, up-to-date .NET GitLab project template. So the one at the moment is quite dated, and it doesn't really showcase graph. God, my terminology, my brain's just messed. It doesn't really showcase like the GitLab sort of, what do I call it, integrations, functionality. It's basically, I've pushed a .NET project into GitLab. We're trying to be like, right, I've pushed a .NET project into GitLab, and we've got code coverage, we've got code coverage visualization, we've got unit testing, we've got integration testing, we've got the SQL server, all the different kind of really leveraging the stuff that GitLab gives us and demonstrating it as well. So I think me and Marco have both been through the same fairly painful journey of trying to figure out how to use GitLab with .NET projects. And we've kind of had to figure it out ourselves, maybe Googled and found random Stack Overflow posts, forum posts, and this, that, and the other, and eventually come to something that we're reasonably happy with. And now we want to kind of cut out all the crud almost and just kind of put the key aspects into a nice small template project. So that's something.
So is that going to be an official GitLab template? Because when you can create a project and it says create from template. Cool.
So I'll show you because it's vaguely interesting where kind of we've got to so far. .NET project template. So we've got some issues to show kind of some of the stuff we want to do. Selenium to do like UI tests, DAST and SAST, which I know very little about. Building like a NuGet package, so showing how to kind of like package it up and deploy it, and a few other bits and pieces. But what have we got at the moment? I've closed my merge request. Let's have a look at the last one that I did. Let's have a look at this one. I'm hoping, I don't know if I'm just being impatient or I thought it would be here.
Can I check? Have you got music in the background there?
I have. Should I shut it up?
It's coming through, Gonna get a copyright strike.
So as I say, new keyboard for the Mac. Headset seemed to be weird, like the mic didn't work very well, so I've now got a weird Yagi Nano, whatever the hell it's called, like one of these on desk.
Random words, yeah,
exactly. I was expecting coverage visualization on this MR. I'm just going to check another one quickly. Don't know whether it sort of expires because of the artifacts or. I don't know why that is. I have to look back at that. But you know what I mean. Just putting bits in, code coverage and all that kind of stuff. So along with a README, which will hopefully kind of give you step by step, right, okay, if you want to do it, this is roughly what to do. You can obviously pull down this project, but I tend to find that pulling down the template and then kind of undoing it and picking the bits you want, it just make more sense if there were some basic instructions as to this is how to get up and running. So that was one thing that's for the potential list. The other thing to catch you up on, I guess, is our pairing sessions repo that we've created.
I have seen a lot of emails come through about this.
Yeah, apologies for that.
That's all right.
It's kind of keeping you in the loop without flooding your inbox. And so
no, it's awesome. Obviously, I've not been around for a while, so
yeah, absolutely. Again, for the benefit of anyone that happens to tune in as well, I guess. So we've been doing our informal pairing sessions. I mean, me and you, Andrew, have probably been doing them for over a year, if I was to guess now.
It probably is, isn't it, actually?
And, Marco has joined our team, let's call it. So, and we've been doing them for a good few months now. So it kind of made sense. We've been trying to advocate. I don't know if that's the right word, but trying to sort of get some other community guys involved, trying to improve the way that we stream. I don't know, the tools that we use, the way that we share the videos afterwards, and promotion and all that malarkey, I guess. So I think it's got to a point where it makes sense to sort of, I don't know, formalize it a bit more.
Codify a bit, yeah.
Yeah, document it, and exactly if we
community
can.
corders. There you go, quick MR there.
I'll let you do it so you can get the credit, I think, for that one. Yeah, please do, Andrew, please do. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know whether it's going to become, I don't know what the word is, like, I guess we don't want to overcomplicate and over-formalize something. So, like the weekly pairing issues, I think are good if it's almost like completely autonomous, if you know what I mean. Like the issue gets created. If we want to, we can pop something on there. If someone else in the community, yeah, but otherwise, maybe, again, the bot will just close the issue like after once the due date's passed or something, so that we don't have to, be like, oh, every week we need to come in and do all these actions. Same thing goes here at the moment. I'm fairly indifferent. I think Marco's a little bit more on the ball with doing the socials. But if we can automate them, then love it. Tweets and LinkedIn's and stuff. But for what is going to be like an hour's pairing session to require, more than an hour's admin to do tweeting and add notes to the issue and to upload the stream to YouTube and all the other bits and pieces, is kind of more effort than it's worth. Is that a cat?
That is a cat. I'm just going to close my door.
Very vocal.
She really is. She is such a loud meower.
So we have our first automation, albeit maybe not.
I saw triage policies, yeah.
Yeah, so again, great time to promote the Gitlab Triage Gem.
So is that, I was going to say, is that actually using the Triage Gem or is that using scheduled pipelines?
Both. So the Triage Gem allows us to essentially install the Triage Gem and execute it, passing in a policy.
Our faces are covering the policy. Can you scroll down a bit?
Absolutely. If I just, oh God.
Do you want to put us to the side instead?
Problem is it shrinks. It shrinks the window a lot more. So that doesn't really make much difference. There's a parameter in there. I don't know how to. If I just, I don't know. It's really annoying. I can't just drag our heads and move us around. But I don't know if I've changed it in here. Add social contents.
If you shrink Chrome down to half width, what?
It kind of defeats the object, right? You literally weren't missing anything.
Is it just the name of that policy file?
Yeah, and it's not even. It's a variable which we pass in. So this took a little bit of itching my brain, let's say, to come up with this plan. So we've decided that we will. So huge props to you, Andrew, because you're the one that contributed or shared with me your Markdown Lint in. So
I saw that. I meant to comment. You've disabled a bunch of the rules, didn't you?
I wouldn't say a bunch. Two of the rules. Okay. Yeah, I'll show you what they are as well, just so.
So yeah, Markdown Lint CLI2 is just a command line tool that will check a bunch of Markdown files and make sure that they follow, like, I think they're unofficial Markdown standards, or maybe they're actually part of common Markdown now. I'm not sure.
So the ones that we've disabled, or I've disabled in the office and copied exactly the same policy to here. Line length for code blocks and tables. I can't see how anyone can work with those. If that were like a code block, it's very important. Like line breaks are important in code, and to randomly insert them to make the linter happy seems bonkers. And tables, I think, are kind of similar in so much as that I don't know how it would render, if it would break the rendering. It probably wouldn't, but visually, for an ASCII table to look like an ASCII table is quite important.
Yeah, I never actually had an issue with those, to be honest.
I'm intrigued to know how
me
got
too.
away with that. Maybe
I
have
just
a
don't
look
have
at
big tables.
Yeah, maybe use an alternative to code blocks. I don't know. Same thing with the duplicate headings. In my mind, I suppose is that because it would break the anchors. That's why.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that's about.
I think. Well, I know what it's about. I'm just trying to understand why someone would have it. So an example I'm trying to think would be like if you've got two headings, let's say it's for on-premise, like self-hosted GitLab is one master heading, like level 1 heading, and the other one is for SaaS. And then underneath it, you've got 3 or 4 of the same things, like how to do X, how to do Y, and how to do Z in both scenarios. Without this, it would explode. Even though they're within different kind of hierarchies, so to speak. And I'm thinking about it. I suspect that the rationale is because it self-generated anchors would kind of be the same.
I think creating anchors on headers is actually it's like an implementation thing.
It's not Markdown specific, is it? It's more of a so
I know that 95% will probably do that because it's a super useful feature.
Yeah. So interesting. Maybe there's probably some discussion around. I didn't think much about why that rule might exist at the time. Just that it didn't really make sense to me. There would be a lot of scenarios where we would want to have that. And then this one blanks around fences. So this one was just for, in fact, it says specifically there for list items. So I don't know if there's an example of it in our README. It was just where it was introducing quite a lot of white space, I guess, when you were trying to. I don't think we haven't got any examples of it at the moment, but if you imagine where you've got like bullet points here, if you wanted to have a bit of code like in line with this, if it had to become, so I'll just do it in place. Not done. So if instead of, so the way that I think I do it, if I can find the tilde on my, or backtick, I suppose I should call it. So it'd be like here, like blah. If we had to do this, it sort of looks to me more like this is a bullet point on its own, and these are 2 bullet points.
Different list, yeah.
Exactly. I'm not sure it might even render that way. So again, I thought that I don't think breaking, disabling free rolls is too terrible.
Yeah.
So let's come out of here. So I think that's fairly up to speed on here. Maybe we'll have a quick look at what issues and the merge requests that we got open. Because again, I feel like today's session, I'm not too fussed about it being terribly long, and not too fussed if we don't attack anything major. I've got one MR that there's some feedback that I haven't looked at for a while, and I think it'll be quite easy to apply that in white.
One MR here, you mean, or on GitLab?
On GitLab.
Okay.
On GitLab.
Do you want to do this one quickly then? The one on the coders?
Yeah, definitely focus on this, and then see if at the end, if we still want to attack another one, then we can. If not, so let's look at the OpenMR first, and then we shall see if we want to do the other thing. So to make life a bit easier, You mind reader, you know immediately what I tried to do. So that works quite nice for Twitter. I couldn't for the life of me find a way to do it on LinkedIn, like a URL where you can pass a query string to sort of draft a post. I found lots of ones for sharing articles, but that kind of is all on the basis that you want to you're more like sharing a URL, and it works quite differently. So by all means have a poke, but for the time being my sort of thinking was that let's just kind of put some text in and you can just copy and paste it and go from there, I guess.
Surely someone's got like a share with LinkedIn.
Well, that's the problem. It's all about sharing. So it's always focused around sharing a URL. So we include
so it needs that URL.
Yeah, and I mean, I suppose we could maybe use like the Discord or the
Twitch stream
or something like that. But I'll show you LinkedIn share.
Because does the Twitter one not include a share URL?
Not especially. It does automatically generate some embeds when you try and click on it, if that makes sense. I'll show you. Copy and paste it. So yeah, you can see that it picks a random one, but I tend to remove these when I post anyway. I mean, it's at least you get that kind of decision making. You can do it. So yeah, let's have a look. Let's share URL.
API requests.
So this is what I found. Let me just try this out now. Yeah, so it doesn't seem to work because there's the share, the thing you're sharing, but there's no text in there. You have to share as post. And then, yeah, the text isn't coming through. And I did see something that looked like you could put text in, but it didn't seem to work, basically. Yeah, I couldn't see. It does amaze me that feature isn't available. So by all means, have a poke, see if you can figure it out. But for the time being, I didn't put the time zone in. So Marco was suggesting that, which makes sense.
Should we do that as UTC? Because I know that's what GitLab use as a standard.
It would probably make more sense, yes. But in which case, I think we should take the opportunity to update. Because the issues that we're creating at the moment are in CST, etc. So I don't know. It's cool to do it all at the same time, right? Join our Discord server. Yeah. So okay.
I'm not sure how long these things. I'm just sorry. I'm thinking in my head if we should include a link to what's it called, the time and date event announcer.
Yeah, I like it. The one that used to be on the core team.
Is it on there as well? Yeah, probably was. Just because, like having it as UTC is a nice, clear one. You're not paying favorites to anyone. It's just a standard. But then it's not particularly helpful for anybody either.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Unless you happen to be in that.
Most people tend to know what their UTC offset is, I guess, though.
Yeah.
It's still kind of clunky to work out, though.
Where are we? This thing? Time and date, world clock.
Yeah, that looks like the kind of thing.
Awesome.
Because I mean, that can be automatically generated too in the template.
Yeah, I hope so. So, do you mind doing the Google for me? Is that 10:15 UTC?
Oh, I'm not sure. What is CEST? That's Central East. Wait, no, Central Eastern. That doesn't make sense.
Central European.
Oh, Central European. Okay.
Time, I
Yep.
guess.
That is UTC +2. So yeah, if you take 2 off that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So, prove that in a minute. So, I don't see, these don't need to have times on, do they? Publish link. The main, that doesn't need a time, does it?
Well, 10 o'clock and then 12 o'clock. Yeah.
And then upload stream to YouTube.
So that's going to be 15.
Yeah, again, though, it's a bit of an arbitrary. Do you know what I mean? I think it should just be
just after the stream, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. It really matters what time. So now I need to. God, my brain is struggling to
decode it all. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Is there a time in there?
Tuesday.
Oh yeah, 12.15. So we'll change that to 10.15 and then
checkout
space UTC.
We probably should have copied this into a URL decoder.
Yeah, I'll just copy and paste it afterwards, is what I was thinking.
Just test it, yeah.
I mean, there's some wildcards or whatever you want to call it in there anyway. So yeah, it's good to me. You know, where
should that be a period? Right? Oh, yeah. So you got 10 period 15.
I don't think you thinking it should be that instead.
Hold on, yeah.
Yeah, I can change that again. I'm sort of
and fix the tomorrow typo.
Ambivalent, if that's. Is it 1M?
Mind blank. Yes, it is.
Well, you're saying there's a typo. Is that it or not?
TOMOR. Yeah. It's like there's definitely a spelling mistake there.
And that. Do we have to URL encode one of these or?
Not sure.
Yes.
Oh, you need to get uBlock Origin installed.
Ad blocker or?
Yeah.
Right. So we were going to add UTC. We were going to change that to that, and we were going to fix the typo. What other comments Marco said? So add the time zone. Also, should we include the list of who's going to participate?
Yeah, I feel like we probably shouldn't include the list.
Yeah, I guess it's just me wanting to tag a few people in the, i.e., like we are.
So you can put a face to a name kind of thing.
Yeah, sort of, but also obviously, like if I tag you guys and I post it, then you'll probably just retweet it, right? Whereas otherwise, we all have to sort of individually. Although, again, as I say, if the bot's doing it, I just that was my only real thinking, that the three of us will probably what's the term that I'm looking for, Andrew? Like not reciprocate, but like. You know,
nothing reciprocates, right?
Yeah, kind of like we'll reiterate, repost, retweet, whatever. So that's the easiest way to do it. Same thing goes. It's got at Gitlab, I think, at the beginning. Yeah, so the hope that occasionally they might do as well.
Oh, you're using that at GitLab Community Coders. Nice.
No, actually, it's just at GitLab space Community Coders us will be doing.
Yeah, it's just the way it reads though as well. GitLab Community Coders.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, gotcha. So yeah, I think as it grows, we just work out who wants to be. Do you know what I mean? Like, it might be that we include one or two, or yeah, I don't know. But definitely when we make it a bot, and that's the other thing that we might want to play with today, but probably not. When we use a bot to do the tweet, then we'll definitely just be retweeting it, if that makes sense.
I was going to say when we have it as a bot, although we do get more people, perhaps we code, like automate this a bit and have a list of all the coders and it randomly picks 3 from the list.
Oh yeah, nice. I like it. Yeah.
But I think that would be a later improvement.
So join our Discord server. Is that are we okay with the terminology, if you know what I mean? I'm not, just because it's like, well, it's
join
not our,
or join the Discord server.
Yeah, so I thought joining, like remembering that we've got character limits as well. I think joining's any more elaborate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't have a strong preference either way. I think they're both read okay.
So issue link. Yeah, okay. Okay, and that was it, wasn't it? Okay,
we need to fix up that time thing at the top of the list. So yeah, line 14.
Yes.
So we need to clear up the message.
We do. So the message should be GitLab community coders
coding session. Coders
sharing session. Yeah. Right. So this. Hopeful.
Is that 7 days from? Oh. Would it not be 7 days from now?
Yeah, we need this one. Yeah, sorry, I was just picking a random one to.
And hang on before you. So it's.
So I need to change the. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Why? Is that what?
Yeah.
Yeah, looks like that's all right. So we just need to remove the dashes, right?
And then we need to set in.
So.
One of those should be a time. Oh yeah, 6. So that would be 10. Colon 15.
No, so we got.
Was it just 10, 15? That's the duration in minutes.
Oh, okay.
I think P1 equals. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a duration.
1 equals.
I think it would just be 10, 15.
Like
we can copy the URL and test it anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'll have to change that 7 days from now.
So
what's today's date?
2022 09/13, I think, for some reason. Oh no. Oh, it can't be 60 minutes. So you're having a laugh.
I think it would be together? I think it's AH equals 1.
Okay.
Yay, that looked right.
So
10:15.
GitLab Community Coders pairing session, event time in UTC is 10:15, converted time, Manchester.
Yeah, Manchester.
11:15.
I'm guessing
Perfect.
this did start at 11:15 for you.
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
I mean, that's the other thing. It's a bit of we're quite good at sort of focusing around that time, but it's a little bit airy-fairy anyways.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to hit this and then we can review the MR again quickly. All right. So my only thinking is actually before I do that.
If you've got your Markdown linting, it's going to complain about this because you've got naked URLs.
It's not Markdown though, is it?
Oh, this is Markdown inside a YAML, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes. So there's two things I was thinking. First of all, shall I fix this while I'm at it? This is a naughty MR because we're changing so many
doing
things.
Everything.
And shall I fix this? I don't think we need the slash either, do we? We already say around. I don't think there's anything else on there.
No more times, no more. Yeah.
I think so. Right, so my suggestions.
Such a generic message. Where did you get 7 from?
It's my favorite number.
If you're watching this video, this is not how you're supposed to write commit.
It is because we are intending to squash the commit, so we will use a different commit message when we squash them. Add social link / content suggestion. Yeah, that one probably. So yeah, let's just have a look. So we decided. I'll just say we decided to switch to.
Wait, hang on. Is that today, tomorrow, Tuesday? Are we meant to put all of those in?
It's basically whenever you do the tweet, you need to put the one that you want in. Like that's how I wrote it anyway. But we can change that if we want. If it's a bot, then the bot will know. But I think it varies.
I was just thinking of a copy paste, and then you were trying to accommodate all different time zones. It could be today, tomorrow, Tuesday.
Yeah. I see.
Work out your time zone.
Let's use one now. We have a character limitation, and it's hour. That's that one. So that's all the threads. So let's just have another look at the changes. So we flipped to the UTC on there. We've included the. Yeah, should this have a what's it? Should we sort of say, you know what I mean? Like you said about naked URLs, should we give it a name and decorate it, or do you think just a link is fine?
Just a link is probably fine. If we're including, you can't do that in tweet. I wish everything supported Markdown. I was going to say if you're embedding it in the tweet, then having like a nice URL for that would be good.
Gotcha. Yeah. If you want to watch the stream, so then we've removed those timings as well. We've fixed that typo, removed that. Awesome. So I'm gonna review. Do you want me to add you on there, or are you, seeing as you've gone through and made the changes with me, fairly happy that?
Yeah, that looks good to me.
Awesome. Let's just make sure. Yeah, that seems to work. So I better do.
Oh, we're at time already. Jeez.
Time flies when you're having fun, all right? So we could do one of a couple of things. One would be to maybe have a look at the open issues, just so you know what we're sort of thinking of lining up. And that's probably best, to be honest. We just do that and then we'll call it a day, because my brain doesn't want to go too crazy. So we've applied for an ultimate license.
That's the GitLab open source program.
Yep. From what I can see, there's very little in the way of requirements. The group has to be public, the projects all have to be public, and it has to have one of several licenses. And we adhere to all of those. Also, not for profit. So we adhere to all of that, and it's suggested. The website said it'd take up to 15 working days. The application form itself said 3 to 5 working days. So I'm quietly optimistic that it won't take too long.
Should we open up a merge request to fix those inconsistencies?
Already did it, Andrew. I love your way of thinking. So there's a bit of discussion around about like whether we should try and stream these on GitLab's own unfiltered YouTube.
Okay.
Or how we should distribute. At the moment, I know you're fully aware that we kind of have it on Twitch, which lasts for a couple of weeks. We then upload it to YouTube, which is indefinite, but it's the GitLab community coders, kind of whatever you want to call it, dedicated GitLab channel and account. So at the moment, that's got limited visibility.
Are we still able to send this across to Christos and get it on the unfiltered that way, or is that
I think there's
kind of tedious?
I should have cross-referenced because there is a ongoing discussion. What's the bet? I'm not going to be able to find it. Hold the line a second. What would it be? Community coders sessions. Somewhere there's an issue already in like another project about sharing them and what we should call it and some other bits and pieces. No, I can't find it. I'll link you to it at a later stage. The basic. In fact, here you go. This is kind of like some of the discussion. It seems like it doesn't make sense to do like everything. Do you know what I mean? If it seems a bit weird to upload them to our YouTube and the GitLab unfiltered. So it's kind of like, well, which one do we want and why? My kind of verdict or the general consensus was let's not upload them to GitLab unfiltered because they're just going to be amongst hundreds of other videos. My sort of thinking was maybe we try and encourage like one a month or every so often, maybe one to be uploaded, or if there's one that we think is especially valuable or beneficial or interesting or just it gives a little bit of additional publicity to spread the word.
Maybe we could do a monthly highlights video.
So actually do like what would you call
I don't think there are very many highlights from these though.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. Just pull a few bits together. Unfortunately, again, if we were to actually need to rewatch the previous videos and cut bits out, then I just think the time required to administer that is
just rewatching myself would not be enjoyable.
Yeah, same. So there's a bit of discussion about how we should distribute. So please add your thoughts.
No, I think reading those options there, I think honestly probably what we're doing now is going to be the best option, right?
Real. So
keeping it on Twitch and doing it on our own channel.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I think that's pretty much.
I think if we wanted to get some like publicity or visibility through GitLab, if they're happy to do that, then maybe doing it in like the newsletters that they send out, or maybe we could do a blog post about it at some point.
I'm gonna discuss with.
I'm not sure if they're accepting blog posts though from community.
I'm sure.
There was some change.
I'm sure they would, but they just don't do unfiltered anymore. So it'd have to be a real conversation, you know.
Yeah.
Regard to use to promote via blog post,
the new community newsletter.
So we don't forget our conversation.
I didn't know that was a thing.
What's that?
Start a thread versus start a comment.
Oh yeah.
What's the difference?
The bane of my life, but so
why aren't comments threads already? Can't you reply to a comment and make it a thread?
You can, but you don't have this box here, so you have to click on this.
Is okay. Why are they different things?
Don't honestly, don't get me started.
That looks like something we should look into.
Yeah, trust me, there's been a lot of conversation. My bigger issue is that you can resolve threads on merge requests, but can't resolve threads on issues. That's a bigger issue for me. But again, right. So we're making some progress. Create labels, categorize parent sessions, etc. So I just went straight ahead and created this because I wanted to create the automation to generate those issues. So I just jumped the gun a little bit. But you know, Marco has put together a bit of a kind of summary of what we could have going forwards. I suggested that maybe we just go with this. I quite like the idea of having scope labels for the Tuesday pairing sessions and then maybe like ad hoc ones as well. And then only introduce kind of some more bits and pieces if and when we need them for our bot and our automations, etc. So that's, you know, fairly well agreed, but I guess we can kind of keep the issue open until we get the ultimate license and we create it. Create issue templates to help us create session issues. Yeah, so
yeah.
I mean, yeah, it does what it says on the tin, I guess.
Issue templates.
Yeah, my only sort of concern, if that's the right term, is that we'll then have our bot template and our issue template, and we'll have to maintain both of those. Unless I can write some Ruby that pulls the.
I was going to say, can the bot not use issue templates?
I don't see how it would. No, it might be able to create an issue using a template, but then it wouldn't be able to populate all of the stuff that it needs to populate, like the dates and other
the dates and the Ruby code that's in there.
Yeah. So I think maybe we just need to think about, like, my suggestion might be that, well, if you want to create an ad, like the bot's already creating the weekly pairing session ones anyway. If we need an ad hoc one, maybe we just copy an existing one or copy the text from the bot template or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So hence why I've created this. This is pretty much exactly tying in with that. And then we've got today's one, which I guess we can close as soon as I've done the admin, or we've done the admin, afterwards uploading the video, etc. And then next week's one, which was magically created this morning by the bot. So I guess I could be good while we're here and come in and make the changes that we've just made to the template.
If we run the pipeline again, will it update this one, or does it just create a new one?
Create a new one, but
just create a new one.
Much better idea though.
We need the merge request merge first, though. Yeah.
Okay, bias for action, merge the merge request, and then we can.
If Marco has any comments, we can
exactly
fix them up afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah. Rerun the pipeline.
He had 10 minutes to reply. More than enough time.
The next week's.
I'm getting all these emails on my phone from you.
Oh, tell me about it. So the bot that I created uses like one of my random Gmail addresses or something. So I had to make sure I unsubscribed the bot because I was getting that.
Oh, wait, can we not?
We don't have the ultimate license yet. As soon as we've got that, we can use project tokens or group tokens.
So they're not part of the open source. Oh, okay. I thought you'd be able to get some kind of token.
I think so. You only get deploy tokens, I think, which I don't think are any good for us, and job tokens, which I thought would work, but don't seem to. I'm not going to say that. Boom, boom. Can I do merge in here, or will it moan that there's outstanding?
And they haven't included any information on the docs about group access tokens and what tier it appears in.
Yeah, I had the same thought actually, but then there was a reason. Let me check. Something made me realize. Here you go.
Yeah, they don't have it there either.
It says this. It's because it's not a standard. Like normally, it's either premium or ultimate or free. But in this instance, it's premium if you're SaaS, but it's free if you're self-managed.
Does it say that for group ones as well? Oh, yeah. GitLab SaaS, if you have a premium license tier or higher, group access tokens are not available with a trial license. Yeah, it's the same, yeah.
So merged, CI/CD schedules, run the pipeline. Did that pretty much get us to the? I can't remember now. Yeah, that pretty much got us to the top of our list. So happy days, and almost bang on schedule as well.
Come
on, Docker. Question for you. For this bot that we may create for tweeting and doing other stuff if we decide to do other stuff, something you've poked with before, something that you've got for, like, would you sort of lean against a certain language or library or technology or?
I have. I mean, yeah, I've done a bot post into Twitter before. How much do you want to learn? Because posting to Twitter they've got a very basic API. You can just do a curl request.
Cool. I would be tempted to go down that route. My kind of thinking. So I actually said this to Marco with the automation to create the issue. We could have done that with a curl command. But I think that the triage gem, that we will start to use that going forward to, close issues, to label issues, to do some other bits and pieces for us. It's also a bit dog fooding and, promoting the gem and doing other bits and pieces. So,
yeah.
my thinking with the to tweet would be curl. I would be absolutely cool with, but if not, I would probably try and lean on us using Ruby, just because Ruby's the back end language. Exactly. Or maybe Go, because I don't know Go. I've watched a video
because that's what I was going to suggest.
To start
Go or Rust, because I don't know any of those.
Was it really? Okay, awesome. Yeah, well, I'm all for that. Go is definitely a language used by GitLab, and or I mean, we could maybe consider, let's use curl, throw an MR up, hint, Andrew, real quick, so that we can get that working, and then we can spend some time in pairing sessions in the future, trying to redo it in Go.
I wonder if they have a Go template for a project.
Oh, what, on GitLab?
Yeah,
I'm sure they must have.
Before you, okay, that's cool. Can you just edit this issue as well? Edit the description. And why? Scroll down a little bit. Sorry.
What did you spot?
I don't know. Okay, I think it's because of that details thing. If you jump back to you see the spacing between those 3 due dates? How that is nice and perfectly spaced?
Yeah.
And then look at the spacing between Twitter and LinkedIn.
Yes, I think I've seen a bug somewhere.
I see this all the time in pretty much every issue on my company's private stuff. It's when there's a new line between things. If you just delete all of that details stuff for the LinkedIn one, and then go to the preview.
Yeah.
Actually, no, the preview doesn't work because the preview renders it properly. Usually, I think.
Oh, really? Oh. Let's go back to here and undo that.
Yeah.
No,
oh no, it doesn't. Yeah, it is. It is that.
Then. Yeah, I think I've seen something about that.
And I have tried to look into what's causing this, and I couldn't find. It's applying some extra padding, but I've not looked into the logic in the back end about why it's doing that.
Right, gotcha.
Because it's really frustrating.
Yeah, it's a bit sucky, but awesome.
Did you want to have a look at that template then, quickly? See if there's a Go template.
Yes, sorry. Yeah, of course. Create from template.
We have
Go micro.
For deploying a microservice.
Okay. Here you go. Oh, that I find quite surprising.
Go micro might be all right.
Well, I guess my question is, what does it really? Do you know what I mean? What's it actually doing? I guess it's mainly just seeing test and build. Go test. So there's not a lot to it. I guess I would probably say that we would create a new. Although again, I put the automations in the main community coders pairing sessions project, and I would probably consider we do the same with the Go stuff. So rather than it being its own project, and we just kind of pull across the bits we need, I guess, from the YAML, etc. But let me know if you do think there's good reason to start splitting out and having separate projects for kind of these different bits, if you want to.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, it depends how deep we want to go with this. If we end up using Go when we want to build like a Docker image or a binary that we use, and then we can pull that through in this one, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So if we're building a Docker image, but again, I wouldn't be, if we had a folder with it inside, then it doesn't make much difference, does it? I guess it's do what makes sense at the time, right? So if and when this repo becomes a bit large and messy, and we really want to split, for example, here where I've had to specifically to avoid like this running on scheduled pipelines, I've had to kind of do this, and to avoid this running on merge requests, I've had to do, that kind of thing, which might be a bit simpler if we split them out. But yeah. Awesome.
Oh, yeah, because I'd have to include that in every Go pipeline then, wouldn't we? Anyway, yeah, let's worry about that when we start it.
But yes, it's been a good session. You know what I'm going to do quickly, though? I'm going to see if my pipeline failed or succeeded or it's still running. No! I just can't figure out how to apply these rules. I think I might need to disable. So it's saying that unused. This is really annoying. So it's moaning that I haven't included this field, but then it's telling me that the lint disable rule that I've included isn't used. So it's like these two things kind of counteract each other. Bonkers.
Is that used anywhere else that you know of?
No, not really. All that I've done. I think it's just at first I tried it above the nodes declaration, and now I've tried it inside the nodes declaration, and neither seem to work. I found, let me see if I can find it. I found an old one somewhere. But I don't think it was ever actually used. So found. No, wait, that's my one. So this was a commented out comment, if that makes sense. And yeah, I don't know if it was ever used. Just caught myself before a big sneeze there. Right, so
files *GraphQL.
Oh yeah, so we did introduce it, but I don't think the backend change was introduced.
I'm just having a look at the eslint.rc.yaml file. And GraphQL eslint require ID when available error. So that, yeah, that's not doing anything.
So this shows it. I don't know. It's just considering it's a disable next line rule, but it's not. Do you know what I mean? It's not really on the, because it's something that's missing. It's not something that's present. So it's a bit of a weird. I mean, it suggests that this worked. The fact that all these were in here.
And they're all just above, like,
Well, no, that's the thing. This was above nodes. I tried it there before and that failed. Now I've tried it underneath. But at this point, the rule was disabled. So my next thing was going to be just to disable the rule entirely in the whole file. and see if that helps. It's not ideal.
Would work, I guess. Yeah.
Well, I don't know that it would, if I'm totally honest. I don't have that much confidence in it. But I could. I'll grab a GraphQL expert that I have in mind to help me out and see if there's any suggestions.
I mean, it looks like that's an official thing, so there should be some documentation for it.
Yeah, I couldn't find it. I think I'm going to run now as well.
Yeah, we're going over
time. Thank you very much for joining me, Andrew, and
thank you,
hopefully catch you again soon.
Yeah, definitely. Take care.
See you later.
Bye, everyone.